Yeah, this section is about array and the operations upon an array. So I will create a new project for array, and all the operations that we are going to learn, I will write them inside the same project, that is inside the same program. At the end of the section, we will have a single program containing all the operations on arrays. So I will start a new project with the name array. Create a project. And here is the main function. First of all, I will define a structure for array. In this, we need three members, that is an array itself for storing the number. So I will take a integer type pointer. So this will be an integer array. And the second thing is size. And the second thing is size. And then the number of elements inside the array, let us call it as length. So these are the three members of a array structure. Now here inside the main function, I will create a variable of type array and also initialize it. So first of all, array ARR is the array name. Then for creating an array, I should know what is the size of an array. So let us take it as input from keyboard. So I will give a message here, enter size of an array. Then read input from the keyboard using scanf. I should read the value in ARR, that is inside this array, the member size. I should read size ARR dot size, and this should be prefixed with ampersand. Yeah, with this we'll be knowing the size of an array. Then, once we know the size, we should create an array for this pointer. This is just an integer type pointer. It can point on an array. So we create an array inside heap, then we will make this a point on that one. Here we are able to create an array of our required size. So I have taken the size. Now I will create an array of same size and I will make a point on that one. So say a assign integer type pointer, then malloc function multiplied by size of integer. This a is inside ARR. Now, because the malloc function is present in stdlib.h, so I should include that header file. So here I have included header file. Now the following things are initialized. I know the size of an array and I have created an array inside heap and making pointer a point on that one. Then I should set the length to 0 because there are no elements right now. So this is what we need in initialization. So this array will be created in heap. So this type of array structure is more preferable because the size is dynamic. Whatever the required size is, you can take the size. If you want to fill the elements, then you can take the elements from the keyboard or anywhere else. You can bring the elements and fill them in this array. Let us fill few elements in an array and then I will write a function for displaying an array. So for taking numbers, I should know how many numbers are going to be inserted so that I can take them from keyboard. So I am taking variable n. And also for for loop, I need a variable I. Here I'll give a message, enter how many numbers. Enter number of numbers. Then using scanf, I will take the number of numbers in variable n. Now using for loop, I will take all the values from the keyboard and I will store them in an array. I assign 0, I less than n, and then I plus plus. Then scanf, read the elements in an array. So for that I have to say arr dot a of I, and I should give its address. So here it should be ampersand. Now before for loop, it's better if I give a message that enter all elements. Yes. This for loop will read all the elements from keyboard and store them in an array from starting location to n. After inserting all the elements, I should set length of an array as n because I am inserting n elements. Now here I will write down function for display all the elements of an array. It should take a structure array. Let us call parameter name also arr. Then it should simply display all the elements. So for that it needs a variable I for using for loop. So it can give a message elements are, then slash n, new line. Then using for loop, I will display all the elements here. I assign 0, I is less than arr dot length, whatever the length is, then I plus plus, then printf percentile d with a space arr dot a of I. And here inside main function, I will call display function by passing arr. Let us run the program and test it. Here, enter the size of an array. I will say 10. Number of numbers, I want only 5 numbers. Enter all the elements. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this display is displaying all the elements here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here I have inserted all the elements. Then here display is displaying all the elements. Let us debug the program and see how these elements are stored in an array. I'll put a breakpoint here where I am inserting the elements in an array, that is filling the elements in an array, and I will run the program. Enter the size of an array. Size of an array is 10. Enter the number of numbers, 5. Now it has entered in debugging mode. If you look into this debug area, if I expand this array, it is just showing array object. If I expand this array, it is having array pointer that is pointing on some valid address, and the size is 10 and length is initialized to 0. So these are the things already I have finished till here. Right? Then if I expand this A, I cannot find anything. A is a pointer, it is pointing on the first element, and that element is 0. If I fill the elements, let us see what happens. I will continue. Enter all the elements. First element is 7. Yeah, you can see 7 here inside this debug area, that is inside watch. 7 is there. I'll continue. Next element, 8. I cannot see 8 anywhere. See, A is a pointer, it's pointing on an array in a heap, so it is pointing on the first element and it's showing just first element. 8 is just beside 7, so I am unable to see it. As the array is in heap, it will not show all the contents of an array, it is showing a location where pointer A is pointing. So I can continue and fill up all the rest of the elements and also display them. So here inside the debug area, we are unable to see an entire array. Okay, I will stop the program, remove breakpoint. Now I have another option for discussing the topics. So instead of taking an array pointer, I will change it to an array of size 20. Instead of taking a pointer and creating an array in heap, I am taking a fixed size array. So I will be using this example that is easy for me for explanation purpose. So I will modify the things here. See, I don't have to create an array in heap now, and even I don't have to set all these things. I will remove this part. Now when I am creating an array, at that time only I will directly initialize it inside the object. See, the first thing is the elements. So initially I will fill the elements, that is 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. I have filled the elements. The next is size. The size is 20. We have given the size as 20. And the number of elements are 5. See, this structure will be initialized with the values that I have given. So the first part is stored in an array, and the second 20 is the size of an array, because I have already mentioned the size here 20. And then 5 is the length of an array, means the number of elements in an array. So directly I have taken a fixed size array, so directly I have filled the values in the declaration and initialization part. So here even I don't have to take all the elements. I will not take all the elements. Directly I will call display function. Now I don't need these variables. See, the program code looks very simple so that it's easy for you to understand. I have an array already initialized, then I am calling display function. So let us go to display function. Display function is displaying all these elements. Yes, perfect. So I don't have to modify display function. Let us run and see what happens. Yes, it is displaying all the elements, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's perfect. And if I debug this, will it be showing all these elements that are from 2 to 6? Let us check. I'll put a breakpoint on display and I will run the program. Yeah, here inside this debug area, you can see that ARR is an object of type array or a variable of type array. Size is 20, length is 5, and array A is of size 20, so it is showing all 20 elements. All the elements are 0, only first 5 elements are initialized. So I'll be using this example for explanation purpose. That's all in this video. In the next video, you can find the function for insert, and the program will be a same program. So inside the same program, I will be writing a function for inserting an element in an array.